horseshoe from start to finish.
Mm. You speaking my language, my man. I can't wait to taste it. One last question before I do. You guys have expanded too, right? This has gotten so popular. You guys have had to open up some second and third locations, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. We opened up a location last year during the pandemic, right at the tail end of 2020, that we're so proud of. It's our ABC Atlanta Breakfast Club Chicken and Waffles, right on Auburn Avenue. And we just opened up a satellite location in partnership with the City of Refuge, right on the inside on campus. So we're excited about it. We do have Atlanta Breakfast Club 2.0, which is going to be the exact epitome of this location, opening up at Atlantic Station towards the end of the year. So we are ecstatically happy, and the ABC Burger is definitely the star of the show, and it will follow throughout in everything that we're doing.
Well, you're excited, and I'm excited because I get to try the ABC Burger right now. Without further ado, there it is. It's a big one. The ABC Burger from Atlanta Breakfast Club. Here we go, my man.
Yes, yes. Just dive on in there. There you go.
You know what, Osiris? I see what all the fuss is about. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you, and I look forward to it. Enjoy that burger, Buck.
Thank you for watching Burgers with Buck Second Helping as we look back on some of our great burger memories through the years. Now, if you've got a favorite burger you'd like to see featured, just let us know. Follow us on Instagram at Burgers with Buck. And don't forget to watch Burgers with Buck Friday mornings at 8:20 on Good Day Atlanta. And until next time.
Well, welcome. I'm Ariel Onstott. Thank you so much for streaming with us wherever you are, YouTube, Fox Local, or one of our FAST channels. It's so good to have you here. We have a lot of news and headlines to cover on your Sunday morning. And one of the first big stories we've been tracking is a grocery store shooting in DeKalb County. Now, our Lindsay Tuman has been following up on the details of this. And Lindsay, 2 bystanders were hurt. I can't even imagine what it's like to work or be shopping and suddenly bullets start flying in my grocery store.
Yeah, Ariel, very disturbing situation that happened yesterday morning in the late morning, when a time when the grocery store would likely be filled with people. That's when DeKalb County Police got the call about that incident happening at the Ingalls on Rockdale Road. They say that two employees got into some kind of altercation, and then a third person got involved. Two of those people then started shooting, and the gunfire hit two innocent bystanders who folks say were employees of that store in their 60s. Now, DeKalb County Police at this time have made one arrest. They say that Quincy Mitchell, 47 years old, is charged with aggravated assault and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. It's unclear what that argument was that sparked this shooting, but folks who had loved ones inside say the entire incident was extremely traumatic.
From what I know, it was a hail of bullets basically from the assailant. Some about 6-7 shots from him, and one of the people who worked there went for his weapon and returned fire to protect. I guess he was trying to protect who was working there.
Yeah, and at this time, police have not indicated if there will be any more arrests or if they're searching for anybody else in this case. They do say it remains under investigation. The two people who were injured were taken to the hospital alert and conscious, though police say their injuries were serious. We have not gotten an updated condition on them this morning. But of course, as we continue to get more information, we'll provide that to you here on the air as well. Back to you, Ariel.
Lindsay, thank you so much for your diligence in this. Definitely my heart goes out to those families, and I hope everyone is okay. We're bringing you back over here as we start to look at events happening on your Sunday. There are quite a few. It is late April, it's festival season. There's a lot going on in Atlanta, especially as the weather is so beautiful this time of year. We hope most of the time, right? We're going to talk to meteorologist Alex Forbes about that in just a little bit. But first, we want to get out to our Caitlin Pratt, who is giving us a tour of the Inman Park Festival. Caitlin, it's 11 a.m. It is open for business. What's going on out there?
It is so nice. What a beautiful morning, a beautiful Sunday, a spring Sunday here in Atlanta, Inman Park neighborhood. That's where I'm walking, and I just passed by. I got to show you, Ariel. You're going to love this. Look at these fellas. They're selling lemonade. $2. That's a steal. Yes, I want to see this. Yo-yo. What? What? So were you guys selling lemonade yesterday too? Tell me about that. How did it go? Good. How many customers did you get? A lot. A lot, yes. And those are some strong cups. Look at, that's a big cup for lemonade. That's awesome. How did you guys come up with this idea?
We came up with it last year. Maybe it was the year before.
A bunch of entrepreneurs here. Oh, here we go. We have reinforcements. We love it. We love it. Thanks, guys. Good luck with your sales. So, all right, Ariel, I'm going to take you back out here on the main strip here, and you can see vendors. Everyone is open now. The gates are open. People are starting to arrive. And oh my gosh, the smell of funnel cake is amazing. There's a little something for everyone here. We were talking about this the last time. But an hour ago, Ariel, I mean, we have artwork, we have different sorts of foods, flavors for everybody, all sorts of artists. This is something that the vendors look forward to each and every year as well. You can see just how varied they are at this point. And what a beautiful day to get out and about, to explore, especially this neighborhood. It's just so beautiful.
Caitlin, I have to say this is really the beautiful point of the morning to come out and just enjoy. Inman Park is, I didn't realize this, it's Atlanta's largest all-volunteer festival. So it is a massive undertaking, but also it gets so crowded. So seeing it right now when you're here just enjoying it in this peaceful moment, I'm really just taking it all in. I feel like I'm getting a bird's eye view with you.
And you know what, too? You can still take part in the house tours. It's $40 day of. Today's hours vary. They're only going to be open until 3 o'clock. So something to keep in mind as you try to set your plans for this Sunday, for sure.
Good to know, Caitlin. Yeah, I was reading about that too, because Inman Park is Atlanta's oldest neighborhood. You get to tour the homes, which is truly special. I've done it a couple years and loved it. But if you go on their website, they have a list of all the homes on tour this year. Like this gorgeous house you're showing us now. I mean, you can only imagine what that looks like on the inside. It's just incredible.
And each and every year, I feel like, Ariel, this gets bigger and bigger, and for good reason. It's so popular, not just for locals, but for those coming in from outside the perimeter. It's a great time to use a shuttle. There are shuttles available too, because I know parking can be a little dicey, especially on festival days.
And definitely if you aren't able to walk long distances, I feel like a shuttle is much, much needed. So I'm glad that they're able to do that. Caitlin, I'm looking up on their website real quick here. I didn't realize this. The festival started in the 1970s as a means to attract attention to the revitalization efforts for the community. So I can't believe this has been going on since the 1970s. I feel like a lot of other Atlanta festivals have taken note of what Inman Park has done, and now they've created their own kind of situation based off of this.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, just the variety of vendors, amazing. And if you're a music fan too, then you are in store. You're in for a treat, because a DJ has just started, and there's going to be some live musicians here as well. So really, like, all the great components of a festival.
We love it, Caitlin. I'll let you keep walking around. I know we're going to check back in with you around 11:30. But the weather, the morning, it looks so peaceful and lovely out there. So I hope you enjoy yourself. Do try to bring us back some funnel cake for the little people back here at the station. You know, we have one request.
Will do, Buckaroo.
All right. So if you're seeing that festival and you're like, that looks lovely and I'd like to go, and maybe you're wondering, how long will it be lovely? Will the loveliness last?
Yeah.
Alex, are you going to certify the loveliness?
I will.
Okay.
We'll get the stamp of approval for the rest of the day today. Look, so if you liked yesterday, you're going to like today.
Okay.
I'll say this, though. It's a little above average, the temperatures are. Right? This is more mid-May speed than late April speed. We're also going to have a slim rain chance out there today, like we saw yesterday. A handful of people saw some showers yesterday, and then today we're going to see about the same thing, and it's thanks to a stalled out front down at the south. I'll show you that here in just a moment. But first, it is 75 in Atlanta right now, 73 in Covington, 61 still up in Blairsville, 69 in Gainesville, and 65 over in Rome. Fox 5 Live Viper, a whole lot of nothing out there at this, 11:08 hour. And as we look ahead through the day today, you'll see that rain chance really picks up after the noon hour. And it's not high by any stretch of the imagination. It's only at 20% through the day today. But the temperatures are going to continue to warm into the low 80s once again. So with that 20% chance of rain, right, we're going to keep that going until we get a front in here on Thursday to help clear some of that out. So that front still several days off. That rain chance is probably going to go up. But as for today, we'll say mostly sunny and warm with those spotty showers. A breeze out of the east at 5 to 10. 79 in Canton today, 76 in Gainesville, 78 over in Athens. It's also going to be really nice just across the state line. The Jack Links 500, Talladega Super Speedway. You always know there's a race going on there when you drive by and all the flags are up.
Yes,
when I went to school at Mississippi State, I drive past there on race weekends, and that's how you could tell if a race was going on. So,
do you not hear it?
Well, at 8 in the morning, no.
Okay, fair enough.
But the flags are flying now. Race is at 3 o'clock on Fox 5. If you're not going out there, it should be a pretty nice day for it. Let me take you over to your Fox 5 Storm Team 7-day forecast. So unsettled, we'll say, Sunday through Thursday. It kind of looks like a summertime pattern, but scientifically, it's different. It's not that. It's the stalled out front down to the south. So basically some energy is just hanging around. But that's going to be cleared out on Friday by way of another front with a 40% chance of rain. But as I mentioned earlier, I expect that rain chance to go up.
Alex, this is why if I ever had to do the weather in a pinch, I can always tell you what I'm seeing or what's going on. But when we get into the why, that's where I would chicken right out and I'd go, I think I know why. But then I'd hear Alex in the back of my head going, you think it's a summer pattern, but it's not. And then he'd give me the science.
Yeah, so that, and that's what we get paid to do.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
And I mean, to your point, it highlights, our background and weather, and that this is a pretty benign pattern. Whenever you get the storm threat, if you will. That's why we're here, and we walk you through it, because sometimes you can look at the radar and think a storm is moving in a certain direction, and maybe I look at it and see something a little different.
How many times have you guys looked at the radar, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, something huge is coming our way.
Right.
And then you don't get a drop of rain and you're like, wait, what was that about? So,
exactly.
Alex, thank you. I'll let you get about your morning. You guys, we're going to go ahead and take a short break. And when we come back, we're checking in with Meals on Wheels Atlanta CEO, Charlene Crusoe Ingram, about rising food prices, how they're affecting Atlanta's seniors, and what the organization is doing to combat food insecurity for some of Atlanta's most vulnerable. We'll do that in the next 2 minutes. Well, welcome back. I'm Ariel Onstad, and we want to talk about the state of senior hunger here in Atlanta and the state of Georgia. As many of Atlanta's seniors face food insecurity, we want to bring in CEO Charlene Crusoe Ingram from Meals on Wheels Atlanta. Charlene, great to have you here.
I'm really pleased to be here, so thank you.
Charlene, I wanted to ask you about how seniors are faring with your organization. I know you help people on a daily basis, and 70% of the seniors you help rely on you guys, sometimes for their only source of food. How's that going?
Well, we are serving what we believe to be a great population of seniors in Atlanta. But unfortunately, we have a wait list of over 800. So we're feeding a group of seniors, but because of the cost of food, our prices have gone up substantially. So we cannot add more seniors to the population we're serving. I think we have about 560 seniors, 2 meals a day, plus a shelf-stable breakfast box. So it's hard to say no. The good news is we're still able to serve those seniors. We were not impacted by government funding. We are impacted, however, on the goodness of citizens in this community to donate to us.
Yeah.
We rely on donations from corporate, from family foundations, from individuals. So we could definitely use more donations.
What does a donation do for you guys? If someone wanted to drop off shelf-stable items or donate their time or money, how does that allow you to help seniors who are facing food insecurity?
So let's take them separately. Food, we have a pantry. We have a group of seniors who are still able to prepare their own meals. So those food donations go into a grocery bag and they're delivered just as our medically tailored meals are. $7 pays for one meal. $7. So $14 would cover the 2 meals a day for a senior that we serve. The other important thing, however, is the delivery of those meals because many seniors are homebound, and to have a volunteer drop in to deliver that meal is absolutely essential for them.
So many can't leave their homes and get to the store for groceries or don't have the means to be able to get it for themselves. So you're telling me for just the cost of a cup of coffee a day, I can give a senior a meal, $7. What does it look like? You're saying over 800 seniors are on your wait list. Do you find that that number is higher than in recent years? Is that the highest it's ever been?
Absolutely. We, in fact, stopped accepting seniors because it looked like it was never ending. At one point, 3 years ago, I'd say, we had 0 folks on our wait list. So over the past 3 years, that list has grown and grown and grown, and we're not able to pull down from the list as we are accustomed to doing. So it's food prices, it's the baby boomer population that's exploding in Atlanta. So more seniors need support from us.
What do you think? Do you think food prices contribute as well to seniors not being able to afford food? Are there other factors involved with why the wait list is so high?
Food prices is for us, number one, because protein, they need a protein in their box. Chicken, beef, 38% is what we have experienced with protein items in the food tray. So food prices, a larger population, and we're living longer. So we're keeping seniors in our regular population much longer. They need our food. So I'd say those are the 3 things that are definitely impacting our ability to serve more seniors. It's a good thing that people are living longer, but that means they need our food for a longer period of time.
Makes sense. It's not just meals you guys provide for seniors, but you also help with some home repairs and help with pets as well. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's the bonus from that we receive from volunteers going into the homes. A few years ago, they came to us and said, "This senior on my volunteer list has a leaky roof. Can you help them?" So over the years, we've grown our home repairs program to include the large funding we get from Home Depot Foundation. Plus, we've got support from the City of Atlanta's development arm, Invest Atlanta. We use those funds to do roofs, to put in ramps, whatever that senior needs. As long as the funds will go, we use those. The other thing we learned from volunteers is that our seniors were feeding their food to their pets.
Yeah.
We have a partnership now with the Humane Society. We feed all dogs and cats that our seniors own, and they can enjoy that nutritional meals themselves.
And Charlene, as a final question, are there any events or ways people can get involved that are upcoming?
Absolutely. Our Big Taste event comes up May 30th. We have 18 restaurants that will be providing bites, drinks, DJs. It's going to be a real fun night. So go online. People can go online and buy a ticket. That's our first big event. So please. Then we have a golf tournament. We have a women's luncheon. Our big black tie event is in November. Those events bring in funds to us. All of those funds support our meal services program. So that's how people can support us. Um, we need those funds along with the foundations that support us as well. So the other thing I should mention, we have a product online called Purposeful Gourmet Pecans. If people buy those pecans, those funds also go directly to our food service program.
Amazing. So people are able to get something for themselves and also give back in return and help Atlanta seniors who are dealing with hunger and food insecurity. Charlene, thank you so much for your time and for letting us know how we can get involved. I understand rising food prices are affecting a lot of different people, and I'm sure Atlanta seniors are no different, especially as you guys work to feed them. So thank you so much for your time today and letting us know how we can get involved.
I appreciate the opportunity to talk about Meals on Wheels Atlanta. So thank you.
Thanks, Charlene. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And when we return, we'll have more content for you coming up. Back, we have Commissioner Tyler Harper here with us. And Commissioner, it is great to have you. You guys just released a map showing different U-pick farms in the state and the rise of agrotourism here in the state of Georgia. I first want to ask you, what is agrotourism and how has it grown here in Georgia?
Well, good to be with you, Ariel. Thank you for having us. Look, agriculture is our number one industry in the state, $91.4 billion industry. It is truly the backbone of Georgia. And what agritourism is it gives the general public an opportunity to see agriculture firsthand. You get to experience farm life in very compact way, but it's an opportunity to showcase what agriculture is all about. And farmers, farm families, farms all across our state utilize agritourism not only as a way to help tell their story and tell the story of agriculture, which is what agritourism is about also, but it's also about it's a supplemental income for some of those farm families also, but it gives everyday Georgians, everyday Americans an awesome opportunity to experience agriculture in a different way. It's most cases, most operations, it is a family-friendly event for all ages. And there are a lot of opportunities for field trips, for school systems, for elementary school, middle school, high school kids. And it gives you that understanding of knowing where your food comes from and why agriculture is so important to our life every single day and allowing these operations to succeed.
It makes sense. And you pick farms and allowing people to get up close and get that hands-on experience is just one piece of the bigger agro-tourism puzzle. Why did you guys decide to put together a big map and release that with all the different farms in the state? What was kind of the reasoning?
So like you said, agritourism is a big umbrella, right? And you pick operations and you pick farms where you can go out and pick your products yourself. Is just one part of that agritourism operations, whether it's corn mazes or vineyards and wineries and pumpkin patches to a lot of other opportunities. But you pick is one of those interesting things where the everyday consumer can go pick their own products right off of that farm. And so we wanted to put together a map and showcase those operations that allow consumers to do that. There's a lot of I think today there's a lot of folks that are interested in where their food comes from. And one of the things we talk about a lot in helping tell that story is telling consumers when they go to the grocery store to look for the Georgia grown label. And if you can't find it Georgia grown, to look for that American grown label, because that those products have been held to the highest standard in the world. And they're the safest, most secure food supply in the world. What we grow right here in America, what we grow right here in Georgia. Well, giving folks the opportunity to pick it themselves gives them that ability to know where their food comes from, to be able to go pick it themselves, and they can have the highest confidence in the product that they're bringing home to their families. But it also gives them an opportunity to enjoy it and understand how that product eventually makes it to the grocery store shelf. And so the interactive map we put together on our website at georgiagrown.com gives Georgians all across the state the ability to find those operations and participate themselves, whether it's picking blueberries or wildflowers. There's a lot of opportunity, like I said earlier, for all ages to participate.
I love it. It's so much fun picking your own strawberries, your own blueberries, getting up close and personal with the food you're going to bring home. Is that why you think agritourism, and especially these you pick farms, have grown so much in the state of Georgia? Do you think it's this bigger desire for transparency in our food supply? Are there any other factors contributing?
Look, I think it's a lot of different things. I think COVID is allowed, and during COVID there was a big shift of the food supply chain and understanding where food comes from, because we saw then, I think people realized the importance of the food supply chain and how critical it was to keep it intact. And I think at that point and over the last couple of years, there's been more of this interest in understanding where our food comes from. And like I said earlier, in America, our farmers, our producers, we produce the safest, most secure food supply in the world. And supporting our American farmers and our American ranchers right here at home helps ensure that we keep that food supply intact, so they can continue to do what they do every single day. But agritourism does continue to grow. It's a over $200 million a boost to our state economy every single year, and contributing to our state's success. Our Georgia Grown team at the department continues to work every single day to help these farming and family farm operations continue to succeed, but also utilizing our efforts at the department to get that message out to consumers all across the state, regardless of where they are. And then we also have the Georgia Grown Trails that gives individuals an opportunity to travel down the highways and byways of the state of Georgia and see different operations as you travel down those trails. There's 6 of them across Georgia, and you can go to georgiagrowntrails.com to find out more information about those. But with our U-Pick operations, we have 55 Georgia Grown members that are participating in that, and we're promoting that on social media. And we hope that folks take an opportunity to get their families out. It's spring. It's a perfect time, especially now with school starting to wrap up over the next couple of weeks. It's just a perfect opportunity for family outings and just finding ways to support our operations right here in Georgia, and giving our farm families an opportunity to be successful, but at the same time giving consumers confidence in what they're buying and what they're purchasing. And I think what's important too, especially in the Atlanta area, is we have a lot of operations that are really close, within 60 miles of Atlanta, where you can go out and participate. And those operations are on our website and on that UPIC map as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you talked about how it fits into the bigger economy here in Georgia, because I was curious about that. Also, social media, I can see playing a role in some of this, boon in UPIC farms. People spread the word amongst their friends and families, and then suddenly there's a really beautiful photo, or it looks like a lot of fun, and suddenly everyone's got to go. I know you have a busy day, so maybe as a final question, if someone were just starting off with a UPIC farm, maybe they wanted to be included, or they're looking to get started in kind of this agritourism type area, what would be your advice to them for success, and how would someone get involved with that, whether they wanted to do that in the north, the south, any part of our state?
Look, at the end of the day, we're the Department of Agriculture. We're here to help farmers, farm families, and anybody that wants to get involved in agriculture, get involved, stay involved, and be successful in that. That's one part of our mission every single day. Part of our mission also is to keep our food supply safe and ensure that consumers can have confidence in what they're buying, whether it's at the gas pump, at the grocery store, or even when they buy a lottery ticket, they can have confidence in knowing that the numbers that are being drawn are all taken care of and done correctly, because we weigh the lottery balls. There's a lot that we do at the Department of Agriculture, but for those that are interested in getting involved in agritourism, our Georgia Grown team and our marketing team does a phenomenal job in helping them plan out those operations and what that looks like for them moving forward. And I would encourage them to reach out to us here at the department. We'll get them in contact with our Georgia Grown team. We'll work to get them, if they're not already a member of our Georgia Grown program, we'll make sure we get them signed up for that, and be able to get them the access to those resources they need to allow their operation to be successful. Because that's part of what we do every single day, regardless of where you come from, your background. If you're a sixth, seventh generation producer like myself and my family, or you're getting into this for the first time ever, we have resources available to help all of those individuals get on their feet and be successful and be part of our state's #1 industry, and continue to allow it to be successful every single day. And we look forward to doing that at the department in any way that we can.
Commissioner, thank you so much for your time, for letting us know more about this map, how we can get involved. I think I'm going to be planning my next trip to go pick some strawberries or blueberries after this.
A lot of good places to do it.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a quick break. And when we return, we'll have a little bit more content. Well, welcome back. Thank you so much for streaming with us. I'm Ariel Onstad. As you go about your Sunday, we have some news headlines to get to, so let's get to them. One of the big stories we're tracking deals with a grocery store shooting in DeKalb County. Our Lindsay Tuman has been following up on the latest details with this, and Lindsay, I can only imagine how terrifying it was for those people inside to have bullets erupting as they're just trying to work and shop.
A very scary situation, Ariel. This all happened at around 11:30 Saturday morning at a time when many folks would be in that grocery store. DeKalb County Police got the call over there. They say their initial investigation found that 2 people had gotten into an initial argument and then a third person got involved. 2 of those people then opened fire, striking 2 innocent bystanders who were told were employees of the store, both in their 60s. Both of those employees taken to the hospital, alert, conscious, and breathing, though with serious injuries. Now, at this time, DeKalb County Police say they have arrested 47-year-old Quincy Mitchell in connection with the shooting. He's charged with aggravated assault and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. It's unclear what sparked the argument that led to that gunfire, but people who had loved ones inside tell us the whole thing was very traumatic.
I heard that the produce manager got hit in the chest. My fiance applied chest compression with her hoodie. The lady who worked in a deli, I heard she got shot in the hand.
Now, at this time, DeKalb County Police have not indicated if they're looking for another suspect or if there will be any more arrests in this case. They say it remains under investigation. Back to you, Ariel.
We'll, of course, stay tuned for the latest, and you can get any updates right here in the Fox Local mobile app. We'll be sure to send you an alert when we learn more from police. Well, as we continue to look at our Sunday afternoon, you might be thinking about what's happening today and what you might get out and enjoy, given that we are experiencing some lovely weekend weather. So there's no shortage of festivals, no shortage of things to do, and our very own Caitlin Pratt is out at just one of those festivals, Inman Park Festival. Caitlin, probably one of the festivals of the season.
Hey, Ariel, yes, that is for sure. And it's always the last weekend of April. I can't believe we're already almost in May. Although the weather, I have to tell you, does definitely feel like it. That's for sure. Let me go ahead and switch the camera, give you a little view, a little sneak peek at what we're experiencing here. Now, of course, I wanted to start here. This is kind of the iconic signal, the symbol rather, for Inman Park. Every in-town neighborhood has their own, and Inman Park, it's the butterflies. So you're going to see a lot of that as I roam around here. This, one of the favorite festivals here in the in-town neighborhoods. Very spirited, very eclectic, and one of my personal favorites, that's for sure. It includes a tour of homes. Band, by the way, getting ready to fire up here. The live music is always sensational too. But they have a tour of homes. You're able to today pay $40 and take a look inside, and they are jewels of homes here. I mean, they're historic, they date back, and they have all original features, just immaculate gardens and lawns, just always a great sight to see. Now, admission to the festival free. There's a kids zone here, so bring the kiddos along, which I already see the strollers. Actually, Ariel, some of those strollers have pets in them. I'm inspired. Love it so much. And of course, live entertainment, always free. Plenty of food here as well. It is about to be lunchtime, right? But I did see something really cute. Enjoying it on the grass.
Caitlin, I think your audio might be fading out. I'm seeing what you're seeing. Let's see if we can go back and bring up your shot. All right, Caitlin, I'm going to listen in my ear and just hear if I hear you. Okay, let's see.
All right, we're still here.
Okay, perfect.
We're still
I hear
here.
You. All right, Caitlin, let's keep going.
Okay, great. Let's keep going. Yes. So I love to, that's such a staple, right, for a festival. All these little rubs and barbecue sauces, of course, these beautiful crafted designs here. You know what, too? Wear sneakers. You're going to do a lot of walking today. There is a shuttle that does take people here because, of course, it's very challenging to find parking in the area. So there are shuttles. They have it on their website, and we actually can link it to that on our website, fox5atlanta.com. But a real big hit for the kiddos, the little gnome zone, and you see a map of the entire festival right here. It lasts until 3 today. Oh, 100%. And like you can see all of the live music acts today.
That's
so
incredible,
an action-packed afternoon. Yeah, for sure, for sure. So definitely bring that sunscreen too, because the sun's really starting to peek out and it's starting to really feel like spring out here in Inman Park. Can I just end, Ariel, with giving you a look at this beautiful house, one of my favorites here in the neighborhood?
I would love nothing else.
I mean, I love the color pink. Everything about this. It has a little turret. Are you kidding me? I can just sit there in the window, read some books. I mean, yes, lady.
And that wraparound porch, I mean, there's just something about a wraparound porch that's just so lovely, especially in springtime. You hear the birds, it's warm, you're able to maybe have some friends over, especially while a festival like this is going on. Couldn't ask for anything better.
Oh, you're the most popular friend. Absolutely. You're the most popular friend in the group. Absolutely.
Yeah, you haven't heard from people in a while, and suddenly you get the, hey, you doing anything for Inman Park Fest? Can I come over?
Right. Exactly.
All right, Caitlin. Well, I will let you go back and maybe find a sweet treat for your pug Martha. Maybe work on some funnel cake, but go enjoy, and we'll see you back here at noon. Okay, guys, so if you are looking at this and you're thinking, okay, maybe I'm going to spend some time outside today, and you're wondering what the weather is going to do, we have meteorologist Alex Forbes ready to tell us what to expect.
The temperatures are starting to warm up here across North Georgia, and they are going to continue to do that into the afternoon. Getting into the low 80s at times, but also notice a 20% chance of rain through the rest of the day today. And that's going to be because of a stationary front down to the south. That's just enough energy to fire up a couple of scattered showers. Here's your Jax Lynx 500 Super Speedway, Talladega Super Speedway forecast. Temperatures in the low 80s just across the state line as well, with some sun, but it would not at all surprise me to see a couple of scattered showers through the afternoon hours also over in eastern Alabama. So if you're headed that way, something to be mindful of. A very similar forecast in Atlanta as Talladega. If you're not headed that way, the race is at 3 o'clock on Fox 5. So for today, 81, your afternoon high temperature, mostly sunny and warm. A couple scattered showers are going to be possible with a breeze out of the east at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Elsewhere across North Georgia, I think we could hang on to the 70s, particularly north and northeast of the city. 79 in Canton, 76 in Gainesville, 75 in Blairsville, and 78 over in Athens. Meanwhile, south and west of the city, that's where you get a couple degrees above 80. Mind you, our average high is 76, so we're above that today. And even with the cold front on the way, we are going to stay above that in the days to come. Our warmest day should be Thursday at about 85 here in the city. So a 20% chance of rain between today and Thursday. Our next front arrives on Friday at 40%. And as we track that into the weekend, that front's going to clear us out and we will be dry for Saturday. I do expect that 40% to go up in the days to come. It's just that because it's so many days out, there's still some fluctuation in the timing of that front. So a pretty nice afternoon here across North Georgia. Here's your Fox 5 Storm Team 7-day forecast. A 20% chance of rain, as I mentioned, through Thursday. High temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s pretty much area wide. Then we get that front on Friday with a 40% chance of rain, which will put us in the range of average, we'll call it, for Saturday. 78 the high, 58 the low, with partly cloudy skies.
Alex, well, you guys, it is time to take a quick break. When we return, we'll have more content for you coming up after this. welcome back. Imagine being under the weight of crippling student loan debt. Many of us can. And one Georgia man is trying to trade his way out of it. I caught up with Jake Croft, who came up with an original idea based on something he saw someone else do. Let's take a listen.
Well, welcome back. I have Jake Croft here. And Jake, you have a pretty interesting story. You're doing something that I think a lot of people wish they could do or maybe have thought about doing, but aren't sure how to get started. And you're making yourself a master tradesman to get out of student loan debt. Can you tell me a little bit about your story and how you got started with this?
Yeah, absolutely. So, to get out of student loan debt, which I have a considerable amount of, I went to college to become a chiropractor, and I graduated in December of 2019 and opened my practice in February of 2020, which was 2 weeks before COVID. And chiropractic's putting your hands on people, right? So those first 6 to 8 months were pretty wild. So I had to pivot, and I went into teaching, and I love teaching, but teaching is unlikely to ever get me out of this amount of student loan debt, which is just over $219,000. So I was trying to think of what are the ways I could approach this. And I remember hearing and reading about the story of Kyle McDonald, who traded up from a red paperclip all the way to a house in 2005. And I was like, man, I wonder if I could do this. Obviously not for a house, but possibly to be able to pay off the student loans at the end of it. So I started a project on TikTok that I just called a Trading for Freedom project. My little intro, almost every video, is trading for freedom from student loan debt for the nobility of my future and that of my family. And it has garnered a little bit of an audience.
I can imagine a lot of people relate to the idea of wanting to be free from debt, right? And wanting to be free from that hanging over them. Can you explain? You were inspired by Kyle McDonald, who traded his way up, which his story is unique in of itself. Can you tell me how you overcame that first fear? What did you first trade, and how did you initially get started?
Yeah. So the past 5 years that I've been weighed down, almost debilitatingly so, by this amount of debt, I've found myself not wanting to speak about it or talk about it or think about it, out of sight, out of mind. And so I figured that if I was ever going to be successful in attempting to rid myself of it, I had to be willing to just kind of talk about it freely and talk about it, I think, in a public light. So I created a TikTok account for it, and I just started speaking. There's stigmas around student loan debt and debt in general, but I was just completely open, or as open as I could be. And I let, at that point, no one, because no one was following the project, I let no one know how much debt I was in and then what I was trying to do. The item that I started with was just a used massage gun that I had, probably worth around $150. And in the beginning, I did attempt to go to websites like eBay and OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace and things like that. But none of those had a bartering or trading option. I was forced to sell the item, which goes against the principle of the project, right? So all of my trades so far have come organically from TikTok. Believe it or not, from the app. I was creating these videos, talking about what I'm trying to do, talking about what the current trade is. And I had people message me, say, hey, I'll trade you this for that, or I'll trade you that for this. And that's how it started.
Incredible. So you started with a massage gun. What did you trade it for, and what have you traded up to now?
Yeah, absolutely. So started with that used massage gun. I traded that for an iPad. I traded the iPad for a Versace watch. And now I have traded the Versace watch for a complete wedding venue package at the Hilltop Memory Maker venue in Coral, Michigan, actually. Far away from Georgia, but that's where we're at.
And Jake, I got a little ahead of myself because I do want to let people know you're actually from Georgia. You're
Yes.
from South Georgia. So can you tell me a little bit about where you're from here in our state?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm from Valdosta, which is small, or not really small anymore. Down right, almost close to the Florida line, just a few miles from the Florida line. And I was born and raised here. I went to undergrad at Valdosta State University, and then went off for Cairo College and came right back. So this is home for me.
Incredible to think that you have traded something all the way up to something in Michigan, and now you're trying to get to the next step. So what are you looking to trade for next? You say you have like a wedding package in Michigan that you're trying to negotiate into the next thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So whenever I have someone message me and wanting to propose a trade or asking, the question I get a lot is, what are you trying to trade for? My answer is always, just because of what the project is, anything of higher value.
Hmm.
And that may sound strange. I've had a couple of people push back on that. That may sound strange for the other person that's trading, but I always think that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Someone may have something sitting in the corner of their closet that they don't care about that's worth $20,000, and then there's something else that's worth $10,000 that they really want. They'd be willing to trade the thing they don't care about, even if it has a higher ticket value. So I always just say something of higher value. Now, ideally, right now, with it being in Michigan, something small enough to ship would be beautiful. Because I've had people offer me a boat, but it's 25 hours away one way, and that's just not something that I can go get right now. But to answer your original question, anything of higher value than that package, which is $6,450 right now.
That makes sense. I do think about often how nice would it be if we were able to maybe barter and trade a little bit more, because so often we may have something sitting in the back of our closet or, our shed. We're not using that trimmer anymore. We're not using that lawnmower anymore. Maybe we'd like to have something else, and you never know what value exists in something, but for someone else, if it doesn't hold value for you. So, what are the next steps? I know that you are trying to get to that next trade, and then you're also looking at ultimately getting yourself out of that student loan debt. I guess I'm more thinking about just what has been the response to this on social media. Do you feel like other people are saying, oh, I'm going to go start doing this myself now? Do you feel like you've inspired other people to think a little differently about trading?
I hope so, and just to be completely transparent with you, the trading for me started with this project.
Yeah.
But I do think that the concept of trade, like you mentioned, the concept of trading and bartering, I think should be brought back. I think it's a really neat concept. If you ever get the itch to have something new, instead of going and buying it, maybe see if there's something that you have that someone else might have a desire for, and you could meet up and trade the two. I've got a pretty strong positive response on social media. Honestly, it's a story. It's a story that people want to follow. When I see things like this, when I see someone working towards a goal that's a long ways away, I like to kind of tag on and follow and see how they're doing and see what it ends up with. And this is I think one of those stories that people kind of want to follow along with. So I've had a pretty strong positive response. I've had a lot of people want to participate and propose trades and stuff. And so I'm very grateful for the audience. And yes, ultimately the goal is to trade up to something. I know that $219,000 is a long way away, but trade up to something of value that I could sell and use to pay off those loans for sure.
It's amazing. I think definitely the power of social media to unite people and to find new things and find opportunities is incredible. So I have no doubt you'll be well on your way. Anything else you want to share that I haven't asked you yet?
I'll make one comment. I will make one comment. I was not able to, and it's in response to something you said earlier. You said you wish that we could more easily trade and barter with people. I did not know about this, what I'm about to tell you, until a couple of weeks ago. I wish that I had known about it at the beginning of the project. It's not, wedding venues are not common things to be traded. So it's not working perfectly for that. But I told you that Facebook Marketplace and eBay and OfferUp and all those places, those online marketplaces, didn't have a bartering or trading option. A couple of weeks ago, I found out about an app called Zaya, and it is exclusively trading. It is like an online marketplace. I know they're really small. I think they're in a couple of cities right now, like Denver and Miami. But it is an online marketplace that is exclusively for bartering and trading. There's no money involved. Again, I wish I had known about it at the beginning, but that might be, if people are interested in the concept of trading, might be something that they can check out. And just as much as this project for me is about trading, it's also about, just opening up the opportunity for people to more freely discuss debt, specifically student loan debt. In our time right now, there's so many people that are, again, debilitatingly affected by it, including myself. So allowing that to be a commonplace thing, at least in my conversations on that account, I think is important to me.
Yeah, you do touch on something that I think a lot of us relate to, which is there is a lot of stigma around money and just this idea of debt, right? And how, there's different types of debt, and the type of debt you take on when you go to school, you take on because you hope it's going to benefit you down the line. You think that, hey, right, this investment and this debt I'm taking on is ultimately going to pay off for me. I will be able to pay it off with the job I'm taking or whatever's happening. But few of us could predict a global pandemic. You know, few of us could predict life-shaping seismic events that have happened to our world really in just like the past 5 years.
Right.
And so when you boil all of that down, you know, life throws curveballs your way and it throws punches. And, you know, it's how do we respond to this? How do we get back up and try to be creative, try to find new ways, being resourceful, problem solving. And you found the power of TikTok to try to help you do that. So Jake, it's been great talking with you. I wish you all the success in your ventures. Best of luck to you and your family. Thanks for joining us, and I'm sure we'll see you again.
Well, welcome back. Thanks so much for streaming with us. Whether you're here with us on Fox Local, YouTube, or any FAST channel, I'm Ariel Onstadt, and it's great to have you here. So if you're looking for things to do on your Sunday afternoon, we are giving you a bit of a treat, and that is a walking tour of parts of the Inman Park Festival. Our very own Caitlin Pratt has been pounding her feet to the pavement all morning, showing us what to see, what to expect. Caitlin, how's it going? Do your feet hurt yet?
You really have my Apple Watch moving every weekend, Ariel. Good morning to you. Or good afternoon, I should say, at this point. So good to be with you. And I want to introduce you to a really special artist I've been chatting with. Her name is Mariah Hope, and she does so many interesting things, including custom portraits. Mariah, oh my gosh, take me through your process. This is so neat. You're doing this right now at the festival.
I am, but I am working from photographs supplied by my customers. I take orders at festivals like this, and then they will email me photos later, and I work on it. But I love to paint live so that people see that it's a real painting that started with a blank canvas rather than just these prints that I have to show, since as soon as I finish something, it gets shipped out to the customer.
How did you, we were talking about how you started as an artist all the way when you were a child in Raven County, but what's it like to be part of something big like a festival and have strangers basically walk away with works from your hand?
Oh yeah, well, there's all kinds of mixed emotions, but in 8 years' time, I've done 3,000 paintings, and I number them.
3,000! Yes. Wow. I mean, how does one get started in this kind of niche? You're funny.
For me, it's been working hard, and I really have to look at it like any job with work ethic. You know, you just have to dedicate the time, and the fact that I've painted 3,008 years doesn't mean that I paint fast. It means I've put a lot of hours into it.
It's so great talking with you, Mariah. Have such a good rest of your Sunday. Yes. And so Ariel, she's just one of so many vendors here. Ooh, what is this?
All right, so it's a Spanish extra virgin olive oil.
Oh.
The olive oil has roasted garlic, crushed turmeric, basil, tarragon, and parsley. Can I interest you in a sample?
I would love a sample.
All right, let's go ahead.
How do I do it? I just go ahead and grab a...
Yeah, see what my husband is like, camera ready.
Model behavior. I'm going to go ahead and eat it. I won't eat on camera, Ariel. It's like, oh, this is delicious. Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm coming back. This is so good, Ariel.
Maybe I want to see you eat this,
okay,
Caitlin, so I can live through you.
No. I'm telling you, it is such a good day to get out and about, bring the family, or hey, just even bring yourself because the weather is great. Foot traffic, yes, it's starting to fill up, but it's not like one of those situations where you're dodging everybody, you know what I mean? There's plenty of room to get around. Yeah, for sure. And I want to tell you that, yes, the hours are different than yesterday. If you were here, ends today at 3 o'clock. Live music, that's still going to be happening too. So many things to see, so many things to do and taste. So definitely a wonderful day to get out and about in Inman Park. This always an annual event, the last weekend of April. And here we are. I can't believe it.
Caitlin, I feel like you're just, sipping, sampling, enjoying the art, which we love to see. And one of the things you mentioned in the beginning was just how many vendors there are this year. And I thought it was really neat on their website. They have everything organized by the type of artist. So like this, I feel like would fall in maybe like the print category. They have photos, they have woodworking,
ooh, yeah,
fine arts. They categorize it
absolutely.
Also. You can go on the website and see a vendor you may like, which is really neat. I also saw some plants there yesterday, which was pretty neat.
Ooh. Speaking my language, I'm a plant lady here, absolutely. I mean,
I knew I liked you.
I caught up in what's so I know, that's why we're friends, so many reasons, but I was catching up with one of the volunteers and he had so many patches on his sleeve. And I said, what's that all about? He said, oh, you get a patch for every year that you volunteer. Well, he had ones going all the way back to 2011. It just shows the dedication that these volunteers have putting this all on, keeping the area clean, keeping it tidy, keeping everyone safe. So just kind of a personal anecdote just about how personal this festival really is. It really is getting back into the neighborhood.
Well, Caitlin, it's amazing you say that. I can see the dedication that they put into it because this is Atlanta's largest all-volunteer festival in the city. And it's been around since the 1970s. So I would imagine those who volunteer one year and have a really great time probably want to come back again and again and again. And it's just one of those things where it's like a badge of honor. This festival is definitely one of Atlanta's OG festivals. And I think it's something everybody looks forward to every year. It's kind of like, okay, Inman Park happened at the end of April. Now we're kind of thinking about summer. I know the temperatures are starting to feel a little summer-like.
Oh, that is for sure, yes. And if you are planning to make your way here, definitely bring that sunscreen, bring that water. I have seen a lot of families, too, bringing little picnics and sitting down in the grass here and enjoying themselves before they take a look around.
Well, Caitlin, I love it. This looks like so much fun. Are you near any old houses to give us a sneak peek of an old house from the outside, or are you down? It looks like maybe you're down a little bit more towards the woods.
Yeah, I'm not in a great position, but I do. If you know this area, you know how cute and like old school these sidewalks are and everything, and like the pathways going up into the green space, right? This really is old Atlanta. Yes,
it really is. You definitely get that feeling. So, Caitlin, thank you so much. Thanks for getting your steps in for us today. and giving us a sneak peek of what to expect in the final hours of the festival. Thanks, Caitlin. I'm going to bring you guys back over here. If you're wanting to enjoy Inman Park Festival today, like you heard Caitlin say, it's until 3 this afternoon, and there is a home tour going on. It was happening all weekend long where you can buy a ticket. Now they're $40 to tour a long list of homes within the Inman Park neighborhood. So if you're wanting to see some of those old Victorian mansions, you can do so. Well, at this time, if you are headed out and you're wondering what to expect weather-wise for the rest of your day and to look at the week ahead, let's bring in meteorologist Alex Forbes.
The temperatures are starting to warm up here across North Georgia, and they are going to continue to do that into the afternoon. Getting into the low 80s at times, but also notice a 20% chance of rain through the rest of the day today. And that's going to be because of a stationary front down to the south. That's just enough energy to fire up a couple of scattered showers. Here's your Jax Lynx 500 Super Speedway, Talladega Super Speedway forecast. Temperatures in the low 80s just across the state line as well, with some sun, but it would not at all surprise me to see a couple of scattered showers through the afternoon hours also over in eastern Alabama. So if you're headed that way, something to be mindful of. A very similar forecast in Atlanta as Talladega. If you're not headed that way, that race is at 3 o'clock on Fox 5. So for today, 81, your afternoon high temperature, mostly sunny and warm. A couple of scattered showers are going to be possible with a breeze out of the east at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Elsewhere across North Georgia, I think we could hang on to the 70s, particularly north and northeast of the city. 79 in Canton, 76 in Gainesville, 75 in Blairsville, and 78 over in Athens. Meanwhile, south and west of the city, that's where you get a couple degrees above 80. Mind you, our average high is 76, so we're above that today. And even with the cold front on the way, we are going to stay above that in the days to come. Our warmest day should be Thursday at about 85 here in the city. So a 20% chance of rain between today and Thursday. Our next front arrives on Friday at 40%. And as we track that into the weekend, that front's going to clear us out and we will be dry for Saturday. I do expect that 40% to go up in the days to come. It's just that because it's so many days out, there's still some fluctuation in the timing of that front. So a pretty nice afternoon here across North Georgia. Here's your Fox 5 Storm Team 7-day forecast. A 20% chance of rain, as I mentioned, through Thursday. High temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s pretty much area wide. Then we get that front on Friday with a 40% chance of rain, which will put us in the range of average, we'll call it, for Saturday. 78 the high, 58 the low, with partly cloudy skies.
Well, thank you, Alex. Okay, guys, if you're headed out today and you need something else to do or looking for more things to enjoy on your Sunday, this one you can enjoy, but it also may cause a bit of a headache because there's a tremendous road closure involved. This is the Atlanta Streets Alive Festival. It returns today. It is one of 5 events that are going to be happening all summer long. And this, if you're not familiar, will shut down a street for hours. And the first event of the year, the one being held today, is going to happen on Peachtree Street in Midtown. And that closure will be Peachtree between Alabama Street and 15th Street. So quite a few blocks, quite a long stretch of road there. And so if you're headed out through that area, just keep in mind you will not be able to cross Peachtree Street between Alabama and 15th. It's also going to be happening, the event today, from 2 to 6 p.m. So once this pretty much closes down, they remove the barricades and things open right back up around 6 o'clock. So it's pretty soon after the festival ends that you're able to get back out and enjoy it. Or rather get back out and cross the road and such. But keep in mind from 2 to 6 p.m. today, at least you will not be able to do that. But ultimately, this festival works to create a safe environment for bikers, runners, and pedestrians to enjoy. And if you're headed out, I hope you do enjoy it yourself. Well, we have some other news to get to on your Sunday, some big stories we've been following here in our newsroom. And one of them involves a deadly shooting with 2 police officers near Augusta. Sheriff's deputies were conducting a traffic stop, and we know that 2 sheriff's deputies there near Augusta were shot at. One of them was killed, and we know that this started off as a traffic stop yesterday evening on I-20 near exit 196 in Columbia County. As you can see, there was a huge police response. One sheriff's deputy died, another is in critical condition, and people who were nearby described a lot of gunfire as this was happening. Let's take a listen.
We were hearing the shots going off on, and then it went silent for a good bit. And then we heard like 5 or 6 more shots go off, and then it just went completely silent. And the cops telling us get back, that, they didn't know what was really going on at the moment, just an active shooter to get in the building. And so we stayed in there for a good bit, but then, we didn't hear no more shots, so we thought it was okay to come out.
We'll continue to keep you updated as police investigate, but the suspect has been identified as James Blake Montgomery. He took off from the scene in a camper or an RV, and right now there is an urgent manhunt underway for him. So we'll keep you updated as we learn any new information. I also want to show you this image of a drug bust in DeKalb County. We're learning more about the DeKalb Narcotics Task Force and what their efforts were able to uncover. They say they executed search warrants targeting a drug trafficking organization operating in and around South DeKalb. And this photo is the result of that investigation. They say they arrested 6 people and seized 50 pounds of marijuana, guns, and money. So this was a pretty big operation, and this is what they were able to get from that. Over in Cobb County, so as we look at news happening around our area, we know that a 19-year-old is recovering after being struck by a car doing donuts in a parking lot. The car was doing stunts late Friday night in the parking lot of the Westside Plaza. Police say the teen, identified as Jeremias Escalante Perez, he's from Virginia, was watching this silver Infiniti G35, you see here on your screen, do donuts when the driver crashed into him. Perez was then dragged by the car as the driver tried to get away. No arrest has been made yet, but police say they found this car, this Infiniti. We are told they've identified a person of interest, but they've not yet released that name. So we'll continue to keep you updated as we learn new information. Also this week, a pretty big case involving the Atlanta FBI and how the U.S. Supreme Court could decide things for federal law enforcement agencies moving forward. The U.S. Supreme Court is hearing an Atlanta family's case, and it could change how the FBI operates. According to the lawsuit, armed federal agents threw a flash grenade into Trina Martin's home and pointed guns at her and her fiance back in 2017. You're watching body camera video from this incident. It all happened while Martin's 7-year-old son was inside screaming from another room, and the family says the FBI interrogated them before agents realized they'd raided the wrong house. Martin sued the agency, saying she suffered monetary damage and loss of wages due to trauma from the event. We can hear what she has to say.
At the time, I was a track coach, and I had to give that up just because the trauma from the grenade bomb, every time at the starting line, when they shot the gun off for the runners to start, it would send me through a frenzy.
Well, the Supreme Court actually said that a federal judge in Atlanta dismissed Martin's case back in 2022, but the Supreme Court decided to take up the case earlier this year. The justices are going to determine what circumstances people can sue the federal government under in an effort to hold law enforcement accountable, and oral arguments are expected to begin on Tuesday. Well, thank you guys so much for streaming with me. I'm Ariel Onstott, and it's been great to have you. I hope you enjoy your Sunday. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break before we begin casting call and seeing what opportunities are available in Atlanta's film industry.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Rollins, and this is Casting Call here
Hi.
at Test the fabulous Test
Thank you. I was wondering where it was. I'm excited to be here, Elizabeth.
Yes.
We're going to have some great castings today.
All right, I'm excited to hear.
Yeah, so we're going to start off with one. This one's actually a little bit different. This is going to be for a stand-in. Now, for those of you who don't know what a stand-in is, those are the people who look enough like the main either character or actor, and they stand in while lighting is being prepped and sound, and while the other folks on set are getting ready to record. And so you have to basically be the actor. But we have a really fun one. It is for Nate Bargatze, who is a comedian. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's very fun.
Okay.
And so he's about 5'11". So these are the specs.
All right.
About 5'11". If you are